Okay, so now we're going to do our nested tabbed book. So I've got 3 pieces of paper that make up the project that we do for this. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we have the right order. So the map, and then you'll notice my other 2 pages have blank columns in the middle because I'm actually not going to use that space. But don't worry, I'm using all of the rest of the paper, so we're going to get a lot out of 3 pieces of paper. So if you put your papers together, then we're going to fold inwards to the center line. And then we're going to turn the paper around and do the same on the other side, so we're meeting right in the middle nicely. So then the next thing we're going to do is take our scissors, and I'm just going to get you to cut that very first piece of paper all the way from here down to this line. So we're just going to keep the box that says description. And we're going to do the same thing on both sides. Just keeping description, and this is how we create the tabs. Super quick. You notice the next one says diet on the other side, so we're just going to cut the blank space to the line on the next page. Make sure you're not cutting the other page, just the one. And that reveals underneath habitat. So now you have description, diet, and habitat. Really easy using any other paper. You can totally design how many tabs you want. You can have more than 3 pieces of paper. For every piece of paper, you just want to have a space where you can write the tab, and then you cut off whatever you don't need, just like index folder tabs in a binder, right? So you've actually put the folder together now. So what you can see is when it opens up, you have the title page, space for that. Inside you have an interior space where you're going to be talking about color, size, body, and the names of the babies. There's room again for more illustration. What do they eat? So we're talking about the diet. Where do they find their food? And again, room for illustration. And then on the inside, you have your map. So in this project, we're talking about an animal that lives in Canada. So where do they live? What are their homes made of? What do the homes look like? And you notice that we're using sentences, pattern sentences that students can just fill in. On the other side of the booklet, you do the same thing, but this time they're going to be talking about the other animal, the one that they're comparing. So they will make their own map and talk about where they live, what is their diet, what is their habitat, and what are the babies called, what do they look like. On the back of the pamphlet then, you have a wonderful space that you can use, and what I do is have a Venn diagram. So I have my students wait and do this last. They take all the information from the inside of their folder and they put it here. So what's different and then what's the same. If you want, you can follow this up by having your students take this information and transform it into a compare, contrast paragraph. Depending on their step, you can choose what's appropriate.